Good morning. How are you?
Hey everybody, it's Monday. Welcome to the show. I'm trying to wake up. Some days are more difficult than others. You realize this, Dead Jet Bed. Alright, let's get going. Yeah. Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to episode 21, I think, of Mindset Mornings for July 19th, 2021, or 2021. How's everyone doing? I'm doing okay, just a little groggy, a little sleepy. Didn't get to bed till 1 o'clock a.m. last night, and it's 6 a.m. this morning, and I've been up since 5 a.m. So do the math. I didn't get much sleep, so I'm a little groggy. And the reason I was up till 1 o'clock was nothing nefarious, or I was not drinking or partying or anything like that. It was just I got caught up on a Clubhouse conversation that I could not get away from. It was so good. So I just kept going and going, and I looked at the clock, and I was like, holy shit, it's 1 o'clock. I gotta get some fucking sleep. So I had to bail from there, and then, trying to get to sleep. Have you ever noticed that when you try to get to, when you know you have to go to sleep, and you're trying to go to sleep, it's always difficult. So, let's get some Mark Rebel going, trying to wake me up a little bit. Let's get some, get the fuck out of bed, bitch, go.
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch, go. Get up, and get the guy go. Time to wake up, bitch, get up. Get up, get up.
I think it worked. I think I'm fully awake. Oh my God. It worked. I'm awake. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. And thank you, the Mindset audience out there, who's up and about at this time of the morning or afternoon or evening or wherever you are. Anyway, I gotta get a thing of coffee, so I'm gonna attempt to let me move away from the microphone, otherwise you'll hear a slurp. Unless you like it. A cup of coffee. Very good. So how's everyone doing? How was everyone's weekend? What did you guys get up to on the past 2 days of freedom from slavery? Did you do anything cool? Did you go anywhere? Was the weather good? I think in the UK the weather was really good. Here in Southern California, it was fantastic. The weather was beautiful, and the weather was so great. I spent the entire weekend indoors. That's the kind of hermit I am. I didn't go out anywhere.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
No, seriously, I didn't. I didn't go anywhere at all. Well, did I go anywhere? Well, I went out to get lunch and get some supplies and stuff. I went to the market and bought a few things to live, but I didn't go anywhere per se. And the crazy thing is, Friday night we did the Friday Night Howl, the Mindset Live Friday Night Howl. I don't know if any of you guys were aware were watching that. Oh man, it was what a show! It was hilarious. That the Tony L game is off the hook. It's funny as fuck. We were laughing our asses off. So tune in next Friday or this coming Friday for the next part of that, I'm guessing. But or you can go back and watch the one we just did. But it was a very funny show. And once again, the next day I slept till about noon on Saturday. I think these early mornings are they I mean, it's peaks and valleys throughout the week, but then it catches up with me on Saturdays. So Saturday mornings I'm just I'm out. I'm gone. But it is what it is. Today was particularly difficult because of the whole Clubhouse thing last night. I found a room on Clubhouse, and it was talking about tyranny and totalitarian states and stuff like that. And that's I'm like a fly on shit when topics like that come up. And it sucked me in. I was having a great old conversation with a bunch of strangers on Clubhouse, talking about the hierarchy of power, the illusion of authority, the non-existence of the state, all that stuff. It was great, but it was such a fun conversation. I kind of lost track of time, but it was good. All right. Let's see who is in the house, and let's see who's in the chat, so we can give some
good morning.
Some good mornings to everyone. Let's see. D-Row. D-Row was the first one in the group to start posting some chat, and D-Row
Good morning.
Good morning, Mindset. How are you this Monday morning, afternoon? I'm a little tired, D-Row. I'm a little tired, but I'm hanging in there. He also says, smells like daytime beer in Scotland again today. Yeah. Hook it up. Go for it. It sounds like the weather is nice out there. Oh, my brother's on, Richard. Hello, Rich. All right, boy? How's it going? He says, hello, son. There you go. There's Richard. Toxteth O'Grady says,
good morning,
Mr. G and everybody. Greetings from London. All right, me old son? Fucking great, innit? Dark Corners UK says,
good morning. How are you?
You just became a Patreon today. I look forward. Oh, excellent. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much. You have no idea how thankful I am. Thank you very, very much for doing that. Really appreciate it. Laura Meltz, she says, morning, afternoon, lovelies. Do you talk like that, Laura? I bet you do. Let's see. Rick Houghton is in the house, and he says, of course.
Happy day to you.
There we go. Happy day to you. Rich says, ignition, sequence start. What show's that from? I know what show that's from. Anyone else know what show? Ignition, sequence start. A man barely alive. We can rebuild him. Hey, Firechild is here. Chris. Afternoon all from Snottingham, the land that feels hotter than the surface of the sun today. Yeah. How you feeling, Chris? You feeling okay? You getting through the lurgy nonsense? You battling through? Hopefully you'll be fine. Laura says she's not liking the heat much either. Yeah. That's interesting, I mean, in the UK, when the weather gets hot, and I know it's not common, but when it does, people don't know what to do, huh? When the temperature just goes up a little bit, everyone rips off their shirts and runs to the beach. Even if it's not that much, Oh, look, there's no clouds in the sky. Let's go to the beach. But You've been going through this mini heat wave for what, like a couple of weeks, 2 weeks? And I guess it's starting to get to you, starting to dig in, and get annoying. You can't win though, right? If it's pissing down with rain and cold, you're all miserable. And if it's hot and sunny, you're all miserable. Can't win with you guys. What the fuck is wrong with you? Let's see. Dark Corners also. I can't deal with the heat either. Yes, you can. Come on.
Come on, don't bullshit me. Absolutely, this time you can count on me.
There you go. Laura says, good day, Gareth. I'll give you a happy day for that, Laura, because you didn't say happy day. You said good day. I don't have a sound effect for good day, but I'll give you a happy day.
Happy day to you.
There you go. Richard, my brother, says, morning, son. Good morning, Richard. Good morning. I'll give Richard a good morning.
Good morning.
There you go. Everyone, I'm going back through time. They're saying, bring on Mark Reboulet. Yep, I already did that. He was on that. Woke me up a little bit. Let's see. Dark Corner says, yeah, it's too hot to sleep right now. Also, I think I have a little ghosty every time I'm dropping off. It decides to bang on the bedroom door. Oh, that's fascinating. So, like when you start to go to sleep and you start drifting off, you hear someone banging on the bedroom door. That might be like a form of sleep paralysis. Like the old hags. What's it called? The old hag syndrome, where when you're falling asleep, you're in that like kind of netherworld between being asleep and being awake, and you start to hallucinate. Like you feel like there's somebody in the room with you and things like. Well, I say hallucinate. We don't really know. And I think I've spoken before on the show about that great movie / documentary, The Nightmare, which talks about sleep paralysis and strange visitations in the night. But yeah, that's interesting. There you go. Laura says, how was Ace on Friday night? Yeah, it was a good one. Thanks for watching, Laura. Appreciate it. Glad you enjoyed it. Barry Crump comes in and he says,
Good morning.
Good morning, Gareth. I'm sweltering. It's 85 degrees Fahrenheit, 29 degrees Celsius. 85 is a little toasty. That's sure. And I've engaged my Indonesian. Oh, Jesus Christ! I've engaged my Indonesian houseboy to waft me while I sip on mint julep in the shade of a sycamore tree in the garden. It's a hard life, yes, Barry. Come along, boy, faster. I'm starting to perspire. Yeah. Let's see. Well-known unknown, which was another great name, by the way. He says, hi, Gareth, Mindset Central. Well, all I got to say to you, well-known unknown, is...
Good morning.
There you go. Welcome aboard. Barry also says he couldn't sleep last night. Not only was it hot and airless, my mind was whirling about how to... Oh, Barry. Oh, no, she doesn't talk like this. Her voice is a lot deeper. Hello, I'm Laura. It's 32 degrees. Liam LK says, hello all, mad for it. You know what I mean? Like, fucking mad for it, me. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there you go. Rick Houghton says, Barry, you better start your own religion. There you go. Call it Crumpology. There you go. Welcome to the Church of Crumpology. And then you can apply for tax exempt status, so you don't have to pay taxes because you believe in some wacky shit. That works great for religions, You don't have to pay taxes. You should hook that up, Barry. Get on it. ASAP. Oh, wait. Get on it.
Immediately.
There you go. Knock that shit out. Let's go. There you go. D-Row has got the right idea. I can't get enough sunshine. I love every second of it. There you go. See, he's got the right idea. He knows what's up. He knows which way it's going. Enjoy it while you can, It's not like over here in Southern California. Every day it's hot and sunny. You're allowed to get sick of it over here because it's hot and sunny every fucking day. It's not like, oh, it's sunny and it's cloudy and it's raining. We don't have seasons over here. There's no real seasons. It's just hot and sunny every day. So we're allowed to get pissed off at it. But you guys in the UK, you shouldn't complain. You should love this shit because you know it's going to end. A week from now it's going to be pissing down with rain and cloudy and miserable. So, enjoy it. Oh, man. Barry Crump, paranormal investigator, says the banging in the dark corners of the bedroom might be due to the house contracting and settling after either day. It's very true. Could be. Dark corners, you gotta go? Okay. Time for work. Again, folks, as always, a catch stream tonight. Take care. Bye. Besegno. See you later, Dark Corners. Good to talk to you. He says, at Barry Crump, though it might be the neighbors, as my walls are paper thin, but it happens every time I try to have a catnap. It sounds like some kind of sleep paralysis deal, to be honest with you, Dark Corners, if you're still around. There you go. Barry is now a Thelemite. Are you a Thelemite, Barry? Do it that way. 93? By me knowing all this shit, you're either impressed or disturbed. I don't know which one it is. I can't tell you. For those of you, a Thelemite or is someone who follows the teachings of Aleister Crowley and Thelema. For those that you are not in the know. Let's see, we got 21 people watching. 12. We only got 12 likes. Come on, let's get to 15, guys. We got to bump it up a little bit. We got to get them going. Let's get to 15 likes if we can at all. Oh, and I should remind everyone, don't forget, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do so. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the share, hop on one leg, do the hokey pokey and all that shit, and come on over to the dark side. Join us. All right, so the reason I called the show today Alien VHS is because over the weekend I did a little digging through my vast collection of VHS tapes. And Secret Vault is in the house. Secret Vault, hello, Matt. He says, Miles will set the black goo on you if you expose him. Don't do it. He might do a fast blast. So I have mountains of VHS tapes, mostly accumulated throughout the 1990s. And I used to record stuff off the TV continually throughout the 90s. And I'm finding stuff that I'm like, holy fuck, I'd completely forgotten even existed. And what I have from about like 1993 to about 1999, what I used to do was I had I had one tape, and it was called my UFO tape. And whenever on the local news or whenever there was a UFO story or something, I would throw this tape in and I would record it. So I have this tape full of all these little news clippings from, about UFOs and things like that from the early 90s in Southern California. California, absolutely.
Absolutely. This time you can count on me.
And I've been going through these tapes and finding like real gems, like things that I'd completely forgotten about. And I was watching this tape yesterday thinking, wow, this is amazing. And then I thought, you know what, I gotta digitize some of these things. So I got a bunch of cables and I got my digitizer and I got all that bullshit and I hooked it all up. And I started to record some. I have a lot more to do, but I did record a few. And I figure I could play one or two for you, I think. For you, absolutely. So should I play one for you?
Do it now. Immediately.
Okay, all right, okay. Since Arnie is insisting,
Come on, don't bullshit me.
I'll let me see if I can pull one over. Ooh, pull one over. Ooh, misses. All right, so I think let me just check if this is the right one. Oh yeah, this is a weird one. Yeah, this is very strange. Now this I distinctly remember recording this. This was on an afternoon news broadcast here in LA around 93, early 1993, I believe. And it was kind of a throwaway piece, and it's very strange. It's about this guy who's a surveyor, and he would fly. This was way before, there weren't any drones or all that shit. If you wanted an aerial shot of something, you had to get an light aircraft or a helicopter and fly over the area and then point with cameras and take photographs or film or whatever the fuck and film all that stuff. So this guy was like an aerial surveyor. So I don't know whether he had his own plane or if he had a helicopter or whatever the case may be. And he would fly over these areas and well, I'll play the clip, and then maybe you guys in the comments can let me know what you think. Maybe we'll get a little conversation going about what the hell's going on here, because it is a strange one, but it's a little quirky too. And I do remember it's so strange looking back and watching these and stuff that you completely forgot about, right? You haven't thought about these things in like 30 years. And the moment you see it on the screen, the moment you hit play and it pops up, you're like, boom, instantly remember it. Whereas like 5 seconds earlier, you had no conscious memory of this thing whatsoever. So let me see if I can get this to play. Let's see, I'll drag it over.
In a corner office above his garage, Carl Marone has been spending days poring over images on video.
This is a generic flight over the area that we originally took. In fact, this is the first day that we flew it.
Marone is an aerial photographer, here showing us pictures from a recent excursion to Mendocino County. On this trip, he was helping geologists find the opening to a cavern.
Trees, we're looking for sodium right here.
While he didn't find the cave, he did find something else. After running still pictures of his video through an analyzer, images began to appear on the screen. Images from out of the past.
In one series, there was the dinosaurs. In the next series, there was early man.
And Marone showed us these images that he's convinced are real.
This one, we're told, is a duck-billed dinosaur, whatever that might be.
And at his video analyzer, images of what he says are Native Americans from long ago. And when you look at them long enough, you can sort of see what he sees.
Well, it looks like an image sitting or something right here.
Now, this is the boy that's sitting on the larger Indian's lap right here. He's holding a bear. And
I see the bear.
And how does Marone know the images are of something real? He says simply by switching his computer to a screen that measures temperatures.
That's got density. When it appears in the shape that we're looking at, that's real.
And how is this all happening? One of Marone's theories.
Einstein says that everything that occurs on this planet is captured. It's captured within the magnetic fields.
If Carl Marone's window into the past actually works, imagine what it might be used for. A research tool for historians, a sort of video treasure map for treasure hunters. Police might even use it to solve old crimes. But there's more to the story, and this is where we might lose some of you. Marone says that among the images of the Indians, there are also images of extraterrestrials, people from other planets. And our Fox News photographer could sort of see what he saw.
You see the space helmet?
I do.
And a suit, small child with his arms, second child, third child. That's spooky, my friend, that's spooky.
And finally, I asked Mr. Marone if these might be nothing more than just random shapes, chance happenings, faces on clouds.
Quite frankly, I wish they were faces on clouds because I haven't gotten much sleep since we started this thing.
And Mr. Marone may not be getting any sleep soon. He says he still has thousands of pictures left to analyze. In Upland, Leo Green, Fox 11 News.
That is very interesting.
Very interesting.
We can expect a mysterious sight in the sky this weekend, in fact.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? I don't know. What do you guys think of that? Is he like onto something, or is he out of his fucking mind? I mean, I have literally, and I'm not exaggerating. I have literally hundreds of these little clips. I'm looking back on it. When I think about like my life in the '90s, it was like an addiction or something. You know what I mean? It was like this should have been a fucking intervention. I was recording. I literally have over here. I have boxes and boxes of VHS tapes that I've recorded over. Yeah, usually up until maybe, when did I stop? I really stopped in the early 2000s is when I was like, yeah, I gotta fucking pump the brakes on this shit. But throughout the 90s, I was really, really recording like a lunatic. And these clips, I literally would, on the because what they used to do, I don't know if they still do it because I really don't watch the news anymore. But back in the day, the news would be on, and they'd say, or maybe they'd promo it and say, coming up at 4 on the NBC News, we talked to a man who claims to have been abducted by aliens, and then that was it. The seed was planted, and I'd set up the VCR, get the tape ready, cue it up, and I'd be there with the remote, waiting for this news clip to come on. And you'd never know. Say it was an hour-long news broadcast, you never knew where in that hour span, when it would come on. So you're just sitting there like a fucking lunatic, like waiting. And then as soon as now we go to Bob, who's going to talk about, and I record, and I get it, I catch it. And one of the tape that I have right now that I started dubbing yesterday, and I'll probably do some more tonight. And I want to get all of these clips off and digitized and on my computer, on my hard drive, so I have everything there. I have it's a 2-hour tape, but the entire tape is recorded in EP, which gives you like I don't know, 8 hours of video. I mean, EP would lower the image quality, but it would give you like 8 hours of recording time. And this tape is full of little clips like the one you just saw with the guy seeing the shapes in the mountains. And that's like what, I don't know, like a 3 or 4 minute clip. So if you think each clip is 3 or 4 minutes and the tape is 8 hours, there's a lot of shit on there, a lot of stuff that needs to be dug out and archived, because these clips will never ever see the light of day, ever. So if I hadn't recorded these little things, they'd be gone forever. You'd never see them. Like that guy who who saw the shapes in the rocks. I mean, that was 30 years ago. That guy's probably dead now. Probably. He might be still around, but he'd be like, in his 90s, I guess, right? But that little clip of him, in his office in Upland with all those monitors and all his VCRs and his videotapes and looking at all these shapes. If I hadn't recorded that, I mean, because that kind of stuff, it's like a throwaway news broadcast, right? Because they don't give a fuck about all this paranormal UFO shit back in the day. It would just be a filler, like a little curiosity, Like it's either let's do a story on the UFO abductions. Oh no, I got a better one. There was a cat stuck in the tree down the street. Let's do that story instead. Okay. That kind of stuff. So let me see if I can find another one here that's broadcastable. Oh, here we go. Here's another one. Now this one, I think, is about abductions, and this is from 1992, I think, or either late 1992 or early 1993. So check this one out. This is interesting. And what's so weird is seeing like the news anchors that were back then, who are long since gone. They're not on TV anymore. Well, some of them still are actually, but most of them are long gone. So anyway, let's take a look at this one. This one might be good. Here we go.
Kidnapped. Now intruders, the real story.
You can't see them, but the true believers will tell you they're there. And you can't hear them, we're told, unless they want you to.
And I wasn't scared. I just sat there and was thinking to myself, even at the time, wow, what an imagination.
Diane says she's both seen and heard the aliens. Her last episode was here in her own backyard a year ago, though she's been visited by them since she was 5.
I was in bed, and one of these beings, I saw one outside my window. I remember it to this day, and I panicked, and I called my mother, and she came in and as any mother would do, told me it was a dream. But I knew it wasn't a dream.
UFO watchers say this is all part of the pattern. Just like the way we study animal behavior, they say aliens track humans from childhood on. And researcher Bud Hopkins, whose story was the basis for tonight's CBS movie, The Intruders, says there's more.
Because everyone is describing activity, especially with women, on the lower abdomen, which would suggest some kind of invasive procedure near the ovaries, and in males, sperm sampling operations, an absolute concentration on the reproductive organs. Not really sexuality per se. These are not sexual fantasies. These are more clinical.
They're all around me. Rolls up my sleeve. Gives me a shot.
Bud uses a technique called regressive hypnosis to extract abduction stories from patients. He says the similarities he hears under hypnosis are too similar, too honest, and just too far out to be made up or ignored. At least one skeptic agrees with at least that much. Science writer Phil Klass feels the whole abduction idea is bunk.
If this is happening, let's stop it. Let's muster the defenses not just of the nation, but the whole world. And if, as I'm sure, it is simply dangerous fantasy, let us identify it as fantasy and stop these people from having to carry this cross for the rest of their lives.
Abduction theorists use an amazing statistic. They say 1 out of every 50 people has been abducted by an alien, though they might not know it. While the folks on the other side of this argument remind us between 5 and 10 million Americans regularly engage in some sort of advanced fantasy.
One of them's here right now. Let's see if you'll share one with us.
That was a good clip. And they were talking about the Intruders TV movie. I don't know if you guys saw that. That was a movie that must have come out like in '93 or something. So that must have been around '93 when the Intruders movie came out, and that little clip came afterwards. So they did treat it seriously in that clip, except for at the end, which was always the case and still is today to some extent, where they'll do like a serious piece, and they'll cut back to the two people, the two newscasters in the newsroom, and then they'll make like a funny joke, or they'll laugh, or they kind of belittle the subject, that kind of thing. They didn't play the X-Files music on that, which was probably because the X-Files was just barely, it wasn't the phenomena that it was going to become. Let me see what everyone's been talking about in the chat. Did anyone have any comments or questions in regard to those clips? I think I have a couple more that I want to go through that I pulled yesterday. And as I said, I have so much more to go through. Let's see. Toxteth O'Grady says, I had a friend who worked for Thames Television in the 70s, and he would get videotapes from the archive. He had a massive machine for home use. We didn't know the format. Yeah, that was probably one of those big, what are they called? U-matic things or something. Let's see. Yeah, you can punch his couch. He says, I recorded Ren and Stimpy from daytime TV. Yep. There you go. Secret Vault says, probably a high-band U-matic. Yeah, there you go. The those big tapes that they used back in the day. Rick Howden says, like the ones they used in schools in the 70s. No, I think that was a different version. I don't know. You might be right. I'm not sure. Yes, big TV on casters. Yeah, I remember that in school too. They would wheel. They'd put everyone out in the hall for like the assembly thing, and then they'd wheel out this massive TV and this huge, ginormous VCR on wheels. And I say massive TV. I probably, if we saw the exact same TV today, it would be like, like a 12-inch screen or some shit. It was like little screen. But back, when you're a little kid like this, looking up at the screen, it's this huge, huge box. The Boy from Space creeped me out big time. Yeah, the one I remember from those days was what was it called? The Cloudbuster, not Cloudbusters, something Cloud. And I remember there was an Indian doctor in it, Cloudbusters or the Rainmakers or something like that. I remember seeing that in school when I was a little kid. I remember being fascinated. And the crazy thing was, back in the day, and it was about weather modification. It was a children's TV show aimed at schools, which it was shown on schools. But it was about weather modification, and I remember thinking as a small child, like, oh, they can make it rain, they can change the sun, and do all this stuff. Yeah, crazy, huh? Let's see. Laura Milt says, how bizarre. Yep, bizarre stuff for sure. Because the newsreader is an alien. Yeah, that's right. She's a Nordic. Toxins are great intruders. Yeah, I remember the Invader. Yeah, two different things. Intruders was it was a TV movie. I think it starred Richard Sienna. I don't know how to say his last name. He was in First Blood with Stallone, and the Intruders was they made a movie of Bud Hopkins' book Intruders about alien abduction. They dramatized his book Intruders, and made like I think it was like a TV movie, but it was in two parts, so it must have been like a 3-hour. Or longer, I don't remember. It must have been a long movie, because I think they broke it in. It was like a Monday night and then a Tuesday night, or a Monday night and a Wednesday night. They split it because it was a long movie. And that clip I just played must have been after the movie ended on like the 11 o'clock news. They threw that in there to talk about it in reality. Oh, there you go. Rick Houghton says, look and read, Cloudburst. That was it. Cloudburst, yes. That was the thing that's burned into my memory as a child. Cloudburst, yeah. I remember sitting on the hard wooden floor, and the teachers would wheel out the TV and the big video cassette recorder or player, and we'd watch Cloudburst. And I remember as a kid, it was always exciting. Because you get out of the classroom, it's like, oh, I'm going to watch TV. This is great. And they'd pull you out and do that. Let me see if I have another clip I can show you. Let me see what I got here. What's this one? Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. Okay, so this is from a TV show. Once again, must have been 1993, 94, something like that. And the show is called The Home Show. And this was a show that was on daytime TV here in the States, like, I don't know, like 9 or 10 in the morning. Like the usual daytime, like where they'd have two people on a couch, and they'd bring guests in, and they'd talk about all kinds of stupid shit. And occasionally they'd send people out to go and, whatever's happening in the city and report. Well, on this show, there was a huge UFO conference that took place in L.A., so they sent one of their reporters out to make a little video about the UFO convention. And there's a great little bit at the end about Hangar 18. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Hangar 18. I'm sure you are, but we will talk about it afterwards. So let me play this for you, and let me know what you think in the chat. Or in the comments, whatever. Here we go. You ready? Here we go.
Like these. But here at the second annual edition of the New Age and Truth About UFOs conference, for some people, those movies are all too real.
Use Usually the type of people that we attract are people that have had some sort of experience and want to share it with someone else, because usually they have nobody back at home that they can talk about this seriously and be believed.
Penny, you've actually been aboard a spaceship. Tell me about that.
Yes, I've been on board 2 different spaceships, completely physically. I had a very nice time, and they beamed me up inside my Mazda. This is all very physical. I was right there with my body. I was fully awake.
What was it like? What was the planet like?
It was very much like Earth, except the air was a lot cleaner.
Are you looking to make contact?
I'd love to, but I think they're avoiding me.
They're avoiding you? What do you think it's the haircut? You know, coming to this UFO convention in San Diego, I knew a lot of you would be skeptical, and I too thought there'd be some laughs here, but these people take their visitors from space very seriously. Okay, and Sharula, where are you from?
Telos.
Telos, where is that?
It's a city underneath Mount Shasta.
Underneath?
Underneath.
There's
1.5 million people in Telos, which is the remains of the Lemurian race.
Do they see television down there?
We have something akin to television, plus we're able to monitor the television waves.
Do you guys watch, like, the home show and things like that?
Well, I don't know, but you can never tell.
You never tell?
I'm sure the control tower monitors it.
Well, here at the UFO convention, there are many interesting things to see, including this plasma sphere, which illustrates what my aura is like. As you can see, I need to have my aura retouched.
Where are these people from? Well, they've told me.
Now, I know a lot of you are skeptical. You probably figure that these folks are making it all up. Well, there is one way to find out if a story is legit.
We're analyzing the edges and the shape of the object and the highlights to find out, really, is it a large object or a small object? This is from the 60s. George Adamski claimed to not only take UFO photographs, but to go on board. So his photographs were very suspect. We started analyzing these pictures about a month ago and determined, because of the difference in the edges between here, here, and here, that this is probably a large object, probably about 30 to 33 feet in diameter. So a small object, is it a big one? This is a big one.
So what's the bottom line on all this? Well, after a little while here, even I started to feel an unusual presence within me. All home show viewers, pay no attention to this poor, pathetic earthling. His body is all we could find at the last minute. We come from another network in search of craft tips. We are real. They take it very...
There are some very bright people who take it very seriously, that believe that we are being visited. It's quite interesting. And this didn't stop there. This conspiracy, there's a cover-up at top levels of our government. Yeah. Even here at this network. There are people who have been concealing these UFOs, and one of them is very close to us. Take a look at this tape. I found concrete proof. Roll the tape, will you, please?
There it is. Yeah. They didn't want us to talk about it. And there it is. Lou's been killed, you know that?
I know, Steve.
And they've been trying to kill me. We've been set up from the start. What the hell's going on, Harry?
When you get steamed, you get steamed.
You were involved in that cover-up.
That was Hangar 18, and we did that in 1979.
I know, I saw the movie, and I suggested that we have...
And that was loosely based on that whole incident that they claim happened during the 50s, where a ship came down, aliens were aboard, they transported them all to Wright-Patterson, and they put them in what they called at that time Hangar 18, and...
Was there really a Hangar 18?
Yeah, there was.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's where they put things they don't know what to do with, that things are sort of unexplained. But, I mean, you talk to pilots, people that fly, test pilots, I mean,
Sure.
they swear things are going on up there.
A lot of people see things.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I must go.
Well, you're oh, it's heating up back there.
Do you need a...
Thanks, Will.
Yeah, do you need a validation or anything?
Bye, Will.
Bye-bye.
Have a good trip. Oh, wait.
Oh.
Wait.
I tell you.
I did not buy a round-trip ticket.
Will Schreiner! We'll be back right after this with lip-smacking food that sticks to your ribs.
There you go. There you go. That was a good one, huh? You got to admit that was a good one. It was great to see the guy from Hangar 18, you know, doing his show, his morning show. I was just thinking though, while that was playing, You think I'm going to get some copyright bullshit for playing this stuff? I don't know. Maybe maybe I should think twice about playing any more. I have a couple more, but maybe I should fucking pump the brakes and not go there. I don't know. You tell me in the chat. Maybe you guys are wiser than me. Should I keep playing this shit or be like ixnay on the playing, eh? Let's take a look. See what everyone's been talking about. Oh, here we go. Toxa says, I think the spaceship from the Invaders was on the cover of the first issue of Starlog magazine. Used to be like Starburst mag, was the British equivalent. Yeah, I remember Starlog and Starburst. I have a pretty hefty collection of both of those magazines. I'm like, I got so much shit. I'm like a fucking hoarder. You know? Let's see. Look at the mullet, says Punches. Yep, exactly. Laura's enjoying it. She says, these are Ace. Very good. 1979. Laura was 2 years old. There you go. A baby in arms. Let's see. Toxteth says, Darren McGavin. Never seen this. Yeah. Hangar 18. It was a TV movie. Like he said, it was made in 1979. I think it came out in about 1980. I saw it on video in the mid to late 80s. And it is corny and it's hokey and it's old fashioned, but it's also a lot of fun. It's really good, and I think that it's available on YouTube. So if you search for Hangar 18 on YouTube, if you just type in Hangar 18 Darren McGavin or something, you'll probably find it. I think it's floating around out there somewhere. You should be able to grab a copy of it. Well, you'll be able to watch it. And it's a fun movie. And like you said, it's loosely based on the whole Roswell thing, but they take it. It's like they took Roswell and add the Bob Lazar story into it, even though Bob Lazar wasn't around back then. Wait a second, maybe that's where you got the idea from. but yeah, check it out. I enjoy it. It's a good film. I'm a big fan of Darren McGavin, Kolchak, The Night Stalker, and all that stuff. Let's see. Crazy John is here. Hey, Crazy John. He says, Mr. O'Grady, were you the character in the Overlook Hotel? No, that's someone else. Toxtus O'Grady, that's the guy from The Young Ones, the University Challenge thing, I think. Am I wrong? I think I'm right. And oh, here we go. Yeah, Rick says Delbert Grady. Yes, yeah, from The Shining. Number one fan comes on and says, "Hi Gareth, sorry I'm late. It's quite all right. You can catch up later. There'll be questions after class." Secret Vault says, "Most accurate portrayal of aliens is in The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension. John Yaya, John Smallberries, and John Big Boutte." There you go. There you go. Anyone remember Salvage 1? Yeah, I was talking to Reeves about this, because Reeves is like Mr. 80s, and I have no memories of this show, but Reeves is a fan of this show, but I have no memories of it. It's gone. Melissa Jones Paranormal. She says, "Hello, lovely Laura, Crazy John, Liam, Punches, number one fan." Look at that. She says hello to everyone, literally everyone, except me. Wow. Wow. Oh, I take it back. Afterthought. Hi, Gareth. Hi, Melissa. How you doing? She says, "Is everyone enjoying the sun?" Oh, yes. The sun.
Absolutely. This time you can count on me.
Barry Crump says, "I want to be abducted by a Nordic lady." Yeah, baby. This Jag says, Jag is saying that The Fourth Kind is a must-watch. That's like, you're like the third person who's mentioned that to me in like the past 2 weeks about The Fourth Kind, and I have not seen it. I have not seen the Fourth Kind movie. But apparently it's very good. I'll have to check it out. That's the one. That's the one with like Milia Jovovich, right? Is that the one with that the chick Multipass, the one from The Fifth Element, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna have to dig through that. So should I do one more clip and be down with the copyright notices? Hopefully there's no copyright stuff. That's one of Space Search. I'm trying to find the one with the. Yeah, it's too long. All right, let's do this one. This one is Space Search. This one is the NASA JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratory, talking about the search for extraterrestrial SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. And this must have been 93. This is all early 90s. This was broadcast back then. So let's have a look at this one. This one also is another local news broadcast in LA, early 1990s, and I think they even go to JPL in this. So here we go.
Extraterrestrials inhabit our universe. Of course, that was just a movie, but now NASA has embarked on a 10-year project to scan the heavens for a real ET. Our Gene Gleason has the story.
When E.T. visited the Earth, he was forever trying to get a message home. Now, real-life scientists at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory are embarking on an ambitious effort to intercept messages coming the other way.
We want to look for radio signals that may be transmitted from a civilization outside our solar system and aimed at the Earth. Our goal is to understand how widespread life is in the universe.
Keep in mind, not one of our space explorations has ever turned up any sign of life. 2 Viking spacecraft prove Mars didn't have any, but scientists figure that further out, amongst all the billions of stars in the universe, there must be a planet or two like ours, with the right combination of heat and elements to produce life. They hope it's advanced enough to have heard the radio signals we've been generating for 50 years, and curious enough to radio back. Starting October the 12th, that's the anniversary of Columbus's discovery of America, they'll begin a 10-year-long search for extraterrestrial intelligence using massive radio receivers like the one at Goldstone in the Mojave Desert to scan the heavens.
If life pervades the galaxy, it's likely to be much more technologically advanced, and it's the more technologically advanced civilizations that are likely to want to communicate and to send out signals.
NASA says its search for ET is a first step, a toe in the water, so to speak, looking for radio signals sent to us from intelligent life in outer space. If they found such signals, of course it would be a momentous event, but even more difficult would be trying to figure out what those intelligent beings are telling us. Gene Gleason, Channel 7 Eyewitness News, Pasadena.
So, stay tuned.
Right.
So, stay tuned. I was just thinking something while I was watching that clip. Now, think about this. That videotape is over 30 years old, right? Or 30 years old, say. It's recorded in the worst possible quality, EP, on VHS. And it actually looks really good. I'm a little shocked by that. When you play that, when I'm playing that back on the screen here, and I'm looking at it, it's like, wow. It's pretty amazing considering how old the tape is, and it's recorded in the worst quality, right? The EP mode. If you wanted to archive something, you would never record it in EP. You'd always record it in SP, right? The standard place, you get the highest image quality. But back in the day, I wanted to utilize this, and I was only recording these little 3-minute clips from the news on the tape, so I wanted to get as many as I possibly could on this one tape. So I'm dubbing them over now. I did a couple yesterday, and I'll do some more tonight probably. But it's amazing how good they look. I'm a little shocked by that. You'd think, we'd always hear stories back in the day about like, yeah, VHS won't last forever. The tape will degrade. You'll get dropouts. It'll look like shit. But yeah, here I am, 30 years later, going through a box of tapes, which has been sitting in a storage unit for, I don't know, 25 years, 30 years, for 20 years, a long time. And it looks great. It's like, how is this possible? Who the hell are you people? Isn't that strange? I don't know. It's weird, huh? Secret Vault says, I think NTSC is superior to PAL in terms of video recording. I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. It might be. Barry Crump says, first generation VHS can be surprisingly good. It's only the 8th generation. Yeah. And to kind of echo what I was saying, though, I was recording on the worst possible quality on EP, and recording just these little clips to fill up this 8-hour tape. But it was the first generation. It's not like I was dubbing the tape. And I know that if you a copy of a copy of a copy, the quality gets worse and worse and worse until it's almost unwatchable. So what you're watching is a first generation copy. In other words, recorded over the air transmission directly onto the tape, and then it just sat on that tape for 30 years. So it's a first gen copy. These images are not from another tape that I borrowed or copied over. This is a first gen copy from over the air transmission. Now there's one more I wanted to show you, and this is, I'm trying to find it. This is a UFO case. No, that's not it. Where is it at? Give me a second here. Hang on. Okay, it's not that one. Now this is a case in 1997. The actual thing took place, but this video, here we go. This video was from 1998 is when they made this video. And as far as I know, this video has never been shown since. I'm just trying to scrub through to find the right points to show you. Hang on, let me see if I can find it. Now, I know that if you're into UFOs, I know Matt is watching. Matt will probably see this video and remember it instantly. But for me, there's a lot of videos which are suspect and a lot of videos that look real. And this video, I think, is the real deal. Come on, where is it? Come on, don't bullshit me. Hang on.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
Okay, I'll try and play it from here. This is not entirely the right spot, but I might get this messed up. But so this is a case in Mexico where you see a structured craft, an actual saucer, fly behind some buildings. And to me, I think this is real. But check it out. Here we go.
Have everyone baffled by what they are. City. We continued to look. We questioned those familiar with the area where the saucer had apparently been taped. We looked from every possible point of view. We heard that there had been a sighting about a mile north in the wealthy suburb of Bosques Las Lomas. There we met Annie Lask, a young woman who had been on the roof of her house on August 6th, and she told us the saucer in the video had hovered directly over her.
And how high above you was it?
Like 20 meters. The outer rim was spinning really fast, and the hissing. When I realized there was this weird thing on top of my head, I wanted to take a picture. And I turned to take the picture. I turned up, and it wasn't there. But there was like this mist, like purple mist, or maybe haze.
After the saucer left her, standing in a purple staticky haze,
Came from here, went over there, and that's...
Annie Lask does not remember getting down from the roof.
Since that day, I had constant headaches, like every day, like really strong headaches. My eyes burned so bad.
They still do?
Yes. Since that day.
We've done a site survey in this exclusive neighborhood and believe that building is where the infamous videotape was shot, a building that denied us access.
That's the terror.
Jaime and his investigative team had been here before, but today, as we approached again, we couldn't be sure of what we might encounter.
We were kicked out, I mean, aggressively.
Turned from investigating who had seen it to what it was.
Next on Danger in Our Skies, the historic video that may prove that we are not alone. Judge for yourself when this exclusive footage is shown in its entirety for the first time on American television.
Now, for the first time in its entirety, you are seeing the Mexico City saucer just as we first saw it. We haven't enhanced or manipulated the footage, and we haven't removed anything. Translation is being withheld because of the nature of the language used. Let's just say the shooter and his friend are very excited. What do you think?
That's the part right there that gets me, is because you see the craft going along, and the guy's filming with his camcorder, and he's following the craft, and he follows, because it's going behind these buildings, and he follows the craft going behind the building, and he keeps going because he's expecting it to come out of the other side of the building, right? Because that's its trajectory. It's going along, and he's following it with the camera like this, and he's expecting it to come out the other side, and it doesn't. And I find that fascinating. Let me play it back a little bit, and we'll watch it. So I'll mute the audio so I can talk, and I'll just play the video. So there won't be any sound, but you should still be able to see it. So here we are. He's across. He looks over. He sees this thing in the distance. He zooms in, right? Now, the zoom in itself is a difficult thing to do if this was a manufactured image. Unless, the zoom thing would be easy to do if this thing was really in the sky. And it's wobbling along there. And watch. He's following it along with the camera. He's following it. It goes behind the building. And then he moves the camera over, expecting it to come out the other side of the building. But it does not, right? Now, from my perspective, could this be faked? Of course it could be faked. Absolutely. There's no question it could be faked. But that thing in the sky right there is clearly in the sky. It's not superimposed. So how could they do it? Well, they could have an actual ship being held up by a helicopter or something, and the helicopter is flying it, and that would explain the wobble. But there's definitely something there. And look at when it goes behind the building too. Check it out when it goes behind the building. Watch. There it is. Okay, it's wobbling. Now when it goes behind, now look at that. You see that when it goes behind the building? That's not an easy thing to do. Look at this. If you were going to, especially in 1997, to make it go behind there so seamlessly without any visual distortion. Now, let me reiterate. Is it possible that it? Of course, absolutely. But is it likely? I don't think it is. Watch. See it? Look at that. That's seamless. This guy's talking about. Let me play it back a little bit to the real clip. I like the full clip of the thing. Like the zoom in. When it zooms in like that. There we go. There you go. August 6, 1997. Look, you zoom in. You see it there? And then there it goes. Behind the building. See that? There's no way that wasn't there. That's in the sky. That is absolutely in the sky. That is not a digital artifact. There it goes. Behind again. And look, the camera moves over. He's expecting it to come out the other side. And nothing. You see that? Look at that. There he goes again. Up and up. There it goes. And there you go. So I'll jump back. So, yeah, I think it's real. I think it's a real one, baby. I think it's a real saucer.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
No, I'm being serious.
Absolutely, this time you can count on me.
Let's see what we got in the chat here. Let me scroll back. Okay, so Matt says, Secret Vault says, I know what it is before you show it. It's fake by Jaime Maussan. Okay. His video guy made it on his command. I want to tell me more about this video guy, Matt. Who's what video guy? Tell me more. Tell me more, absolutely. Punches Couches says, I talked to a man from Mexico who had worn out his shoes and had no money, so I gave him a pair of boots. He then told me about the UFO he saw in Mexico near a church. He tried to get into the church. Oh, wow. That was pretty cool of you to give him some shoes, though. That's pretty awesome. After Effects had motion tracking back in 1997. Yeah, I'm sure it did, Matt, but you can't. Look, of course I could be wrong. 100% I could be wrong that this is a fake. Of course, and I'm completely open to that. But I don't think it is. I think what we're seeing is real. Simply because, and this footage was news in 1998, and then it was gone, and no one talks about it, no one mentions it, nothing. And I don't know. Steve Wills is here. Steve says the UFO no pilot needs to take that back to saucer school. Yeah, I guess so. And I think of the fleet in the building. Approximately, there were more videos. I think, Steve, that if that event happened today, I think your comment would be absolutely legit. But back in 1997, there were no camera phones. And even if there was, the image quality on the phone would be shit. And no one's running around with video cameras every minute. So I'm not sure I would agree with you in regard to that, because this clip lasts less than 30 seconds. And it was caught by one person. But having said that, the video was caught by one person, but there were multiple witnesses on the ground who saw it. But only one video. So, yeah, I want to, Matt, if you're still watching, tell me in the chat what you mean by Jaime Maussan had that made specifically for, I don't know, for whatever reason. And I know Jaime Maussan has done some shady shit in the past. But, yeah, I don't know. Good stuff. And this is just tip of the iceberg, guys. I have so much more of this bullshit that I need to dub over onto my computer and get digitized. Let's see. Steve says that was a huge video cam boom since the waves caught in 91 there. Well, I don't know. That doesn't seem right to me, man. Because, lots of people had video cameras in the 90s, right? Lots of people had camcorders and stuff. But the camcorders were always used for special occasions, or like if everyone knew that, hey, at 1 p.m. tomorrow there's going to be a flying saucer come by, then yeah, absolutely, every motherfucker would grab their camera and run outside. But nobody knew. Nobody knew it was going to show up. The guy caught it on a whim. Let's see. Matt says, all I remember is that Jaime Maussan promoted it and then came out about him being involved with making it and then stopped talking about it, and suddenly his video guy was sacked and left under what was left under a bit of a dark cloud. I don't know anything about this. And I honestly don't know, Matt, if what you're saying is accurate or not. I don't know. I'll have to do some research and dig around, I guess. But yeah, what's this? And there's also a very big disconnect between the woman who said she saw the UFO and the anonymous person who supplied the footage. The woman didn't film it. Correct. Yeah, she didn't film it. She was one of the I think they interviewed her on this this documentary, Danger in Our Skies. But she didn't film it. And in fact, you can hear the voice of the person in the video, while he's filming it. And in part of this documentary, they say we're not going to translate what he's saying because they say, let's just say he gets a little excited. So you can hear little bits and pieces of his conversation while he's filming it, and he gets a little worked up. And I guess he's using a lot of bad language in Spanish, so they either block it out or they're not going to translate what he's saying. So yeah, Crazy John says he must have came from a dark place. Yeah. So that's one of the things I'm kind of working on, and it's fun to see these clips again, to dig through the archives and pull out all these clips because as you guys know, the 90s was an amazing time for UFOs on TV. There was so many documentary because the X-Files was so huge. There was so much interest in UFOs and the paranormal and these little hour shows that would pop up all over the place, and the little news clippings and news stuff that would show up on the local news. And I tried to record most or as many as I possibly could. Obviously, there's probably a ton of shit that I missed, but I tried to grab as much of it as I possibly could. And now that I'm going through my VHS collection, I'm stumbling across all kinds of stuff that I'd forgotten about, that I forgot I even had, and now I'm just dubbing it over onto my Mac and getting the video archived on hard drives. Cause these things, you'll never see these again. It's good to grab these and have these digitized and stored away, because a lot of the stuff that I have, it was broadcast once, and that was it. It was never shown again. You know what I mean? It was like, and that was it. Let's see. Steve Wills says, the original Mexican wave, which was caught by multiple solar eclipse. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I remember the solar eclipse because, something else was because there was a solar eclipse, there was lots of people out there filming anyway, right? And then the saucers showed up, or the UFOs, and they caught those, and that was the huge wave of, I think it was, what was that, 1990, 1991? I'm guessing it was around that time where they caught all this stuff. Jag says, just watch The Fourth Kind and watch your head scramble. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check out The Fourth Kind, I guess. Everyone's telling me to watch The Fourth Kind. I've never seen it, so maybe I'll get a copy of that this week and check it out. Oh, look at that. Andy Young says, for those of us who've had our own experiences of UFOs, all the videos in the world mean nothing. Barry Crump says, it's been suggested that the reason why Neil Armstrong went to ground is because he couldn't live with the lie of the denial that he and Buzz encountered on the moon. Yeah, I've heard that also. And there's that very famous press conference. I think it's on YouTube also, where they're first man on the moon. Everyone's losing their shit. Everyone, oh my God, we went to the moon, yay! And they successfully returned to Earth. There's a big press conference with Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong, and they're sitting there and they look shell shocked. They're like, they couldn't answer questions. They didn't want to answer questions. They would change the subject. Very strange. Very strange. They were like, not into it at all. And you'd think that, if somebody had gone through that amazing experience, they'd really want to talk about it. Now, Barry, whether or not what you're saying is true, I have no idea, but I do lean I do lean towards it being true, but it might not be. It might just be, I like that explanation rather than the explanation of, well, we didn't even go to the moon. That's a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that thought process. I think we did go to the moon, but I also think we might have seen some shit up there. I don't know. We shall see, I guess. Let's see what else is going on here. I'm not going to play any more clips because time is running out. I need to get things going and get ready to go to work this morning. I do have a lot more though. But I better not. Let me see if I can maybe do one more. I don't know. Let's see what we got here. No, I can't play that. Okay, no, I can't do that one. Let's no, can't play that one. Oh, here we go. This might be fun. So I also found on my tape a Jerry Springer episode from 1993. And this was when Jerry Springer was not the Jerry Springer that we all know and love now. I don't know if Jerry Springer became a worldwide phenomena in the late 90s with the Jerry Springer Show with Jerry and all this stuff. So this was several years before that, when he had like a serious talk show, when he wasn't just acting the fool and bringing all these maniacs up to talk shit against each other. And this was a talk show where he talked to UFO abductees. And it's actually pretty good. It's I watched it yesterday while I was dubbing it over, and it's some good stuff. So I'll play a little bit of it. I could, because it's a 45-minute long show, and there's no way I'm playing the whole thing, but I'll play a few minutes so you guys can take a look at it. Here we go.
Based on my own personal experience, the way I've validated my own experiences over a period of the last 15 years. In other words, I have proven to myself that the mind itself is an interdimensional energy system capable of receiving information on many different levels of consciousness, many levels of awareness.
So you've been on a...
Yeah, this guy sounds like he should be on the Bases channel or something with Miles. It's this guy. I mean, what do I know? Maybe he's legit, but he sounds like he's a bit mental. But there's some people on here. If I can play it, these are just people that they're in the crowd. Check this guy out.
There's amazing cross references.
Are you tired of people coming up to you when you talk about these stories and saying, "You're a nice guy, but you're out to lunch"?
Okay. I had an experience Mr. Thompson gave me a regression session, and we were on the riverbank fishing one night, and one of my friends, and I've suffered ridicule for many years, and I've sort of adjusted to it because I realized that the human concept doesn't apply to anything; they'll laugh it off. But we were sitting there on the bank, and I was building the fire. One of my friends happened to just pop out of his mouth, "Hey, Dickie, have you ever seen any more of them flying saucers, man?" And I just looked up, and here that was the year of when they had the big UFO flap, and all of a sudden there was this zit, zit, zit. They were all over, and everybody on the riverbank was there with me, and I got to laughing so much You know, I mean, finally something had happened.
Did they see it?
They all see it. One guy walked out in the river. And he was like, wow, man. And they were just zipping around. They wasn't on any kind of a, you know, straight message. They were everywhere.
Yeah, they always used to bring Phil Klass on this show. Let me play a little bit. This Phil Klass, this guy would always show up and try to fucking, you know, poke holes in everything. I mean, what do you got? There he is. Let's listen to Phil. Here we go.
I'm willing to listen. I admit I'm very skeptical. It's hard for me to fathom all this. What am I hearing? Help me.
Jerry, you've heard a lot about hypnosis and stories told under hypnotism. In my book, UFO Abductions, I have a chapter devoted to Dr. Martin Orne, a psychiatrist, a leading expert in hypnosis. And he says, and I quote verbatim in the book, that people can lie under hypnosis, they can fantasize under hypnosis, and that even a trained hypnotist cannot tell if a subject is real.
They can also tell the truth under hypnosis. He's leaving that out. I mean, what he's saying is true. People can lie and people can fantasize and make shit up under hypnosis, absolutely. But they can also tell the truth. They can also be honest, and he's not mentioning that for obvious reasons. I love that on the bottom when it introduces him, it says Phil Klass, UFO debunker. I love that. Let's listen to a little more, Phil.
But Sarah says she's not under hypnosis and she remembers.
Yeah, all right, fine. So these are simply fantasy tales. But I say this. I say I try I try to keep an open mind.
I don't believe that, Phil. I don't believe that an open mind.
If you'll keep your mouth shut for a moment, I will demonstrate. I urge those of you who are convinced that you've been abducted, those here, elsewhere, go to the FBI, go to your congressman. We have the power to defend the people of this nation.
Are you saying that Sarah's
Turn yourself
lying?
into NASA
Are you
for quarantine,
suggesting that
right?
Sarah's lying?
I'm suggesting that she is a fantasy-prone person. This is one possible explanation.
Why would I want to fantasize about
Another is that she is psychologically
Isn't this crazy?
disturbed.
Isn't that crazy how they would... He actually told her, he said, if you would shut up for a minute, and he calls her fantasy prone, he's basically calling her a mental case, that she's out of her mind. I mean, it's how different talk shows are today compared to what they were like back in the 90s, you know. But yeah, Phil Klass he's a character. I think that he was well aware of the reality of the UFO subject. Let me get rid of this for a second. Yeah, I think Klass was well aware of the reality of UFOs, and that he was put out there on purpose because he wouldn't leave even a window of possibility that some of these cases might be real. He would universally be like, it's all bullshit, you're lying, you're mental, it's nonsense, none of this happened, you're fantasy prone, yada yada yada, and so on and so on and so on. And someone mentioned to me maybe a couple of years ago in regard to Phil Klass, which I found interesting. So Phil Klass he was just a journalist, right? He was like an editor of Aviation Week or something. He was just a journalist on a little rinky-dink magazine about airplanes, right? And then he kind of made a name for himself as a UFO debunker. But it was so strange that whenever there was a big conference or a TV show and all that, he would show up all over the world and talk shit about all this stuff. And someone mentioned to me, how could he afford all those plane tickets? How could he get around like that? I mean, considering what he was making as an editor of some little magazine somewhere, how do you afford all that shit? It's interesting stuff. Steve says he's right about hypnotic regression being unreliable in gleaning UFO. Yeah, I hear you, Steve. I totally hear you. I mean, it can go either way. You know what I mean? It really can. But I don't know. Yeah, interesting stuff. Andy Young says, I always laugh when I see Phil Klass. Larry Warren told me he sent Phil a get well card soon every birthday until he died. Oh, there you go. Very nice. Kevin Quinton showed up and he said,
Good morning. How are you?
There you go. It says hypnosis factually backed up by science. There we go. And it's all real, I guess, dressing up. What? I don't know. I'm looking at some of Kevin's. I'm not sure what he's talking about. Is Punchy referring to Phil Glass as an alien in disguise? Well, you never know. He might be. He might be an alien in disguise. I don't know. I can't tell. All right then, guys. We should start wrapping it up because I've got to go to work. I should get that Batman clip. I got to go to work. I got to get things going. Get my day started. Thank you so much for coming by this morning. Really, really appreciate it. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. We've got 24 likes. Can we get 25? Can we get one more? Please, can we get one more? Hit the button. It's so easy. You just move your mouse and go boop. Very simple. Give me 25 likes and then we'll call it a day. Thank you so much for coming by. I will be back tomorrow at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 2 p.m. UK time, and then all the rest of the world you can figure out the times, depending on where you are on planet Earth. I would recommend you listen to yesterday's podcast, the Mindset Podcast. I haven't published it yet. I recorded it yesterday. I will be publishing it right after I'm done here, so it should be live in about 30 minutes. You can get to it from down below on mindsetcentral.com. It was a very, very interesting podcast yesterday. I was on with of course, Ben Emlyn Jones, and we talked about some very, very interesting stuff in regard to, well, I don't want to talk about it on this channel, but hang on, I'll beam it to you. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So check out the Mindset Podcast. That's where we have open and frank discussions about things that we cannot have open and frank discussions about on YouTube, unfortunately. So check that shit out if you can. The latest show will be on mindsetcentral.com in about 30 minutes, because once I get done here, I'm just going to upload the file and go live and publish the RSS feed and all that stuff. Also tomorrow on the show, Ben will be joining me. Ben will be back tomorrow, so we'll have some fun with Ben. We'll talk about maybe some more UFO stuff, paranormal, whatever, and we'll get through that. Thank you all for coming by today. Really appreciate it. If you're just starting your day today, have a great day. Have an awesome Monday. I know Monday's usually not the best day of the week. Have a great day. If it's late afternoon, early evening for you, wherever you are in the world, have a great evening. And I'll see you all tomorrow morning. Thank you so much, and besegno.